Yeah, awesome.
Hello everyone, this is the Captain Swan podcast number 28. I'm Serena, so we are out on Tumblr, and today we have not one but two new people. So yeah, we have a lot of fresh blood, and they will introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Izzy, and I feel weird going first because I'm both new and don't have a Tumblr, so hi!
I guess I'm next, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Anita. Well, that's my real name, actually. I'm going to appear that now. I'm Jude. My real name is Anita. And I'm Swanstead, Tumblr.com. This is the worst intro ever. I never wanted anyone to knew my name, but might as well say it out loud now.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and You Brought Me Home on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Mai, and I'm Killian the Hero on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm To the End of the World or Time on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I'm RG Vortex 58 on Tumblr.
And it's his birthday!
Yay! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Actually, it was yesterday, but
It was yesterday for you, but for some of us, it's today.
Yeah, you know?
well, okay.
Wait, I'm confused now.
Mine's
It's Ro's birthday today, but he's in Australia, so it's yesterday for him.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Because we are international, we are like on 3 different continents. So yeah, that's awesome. Anyway, you may remember that when there are new people, I ask you how and when did you start shipping Captain Swan? Because I like putting new people on the spot.
Yay!
So, who wants to go first? Let's go still in alphabetical order. Do you want to go first?
Oh, come on now.
First episode of when you like Captain Swan? Is that the question?
Yeah, how and when did you start shipping Captain Swan? When did you become a shipper?
Is she gonna answer, or can I answer first?
You can answer first if you like.
Actually, it was a tweet that Jennifer sent out, like, around August, the time before Hook was introduced. She introduced Colin, and I was like, I kind of slashed it, like I kind of like crack shipped it a little bit.
You and me both.
I know. I was just thinking, hello, maybe she never really introduced people often. I saw that on Twitter, and okay, I'm like, maybe there's something. And then I remember, yeah, the Crocodile just built it up, and I was like, okay. And then it just led on, and I'm like, oh my god, then straight to Tallahassee. I'm like, this is like the dream episode. And basically they introduced him as like the first person that read her really perfectly. Like, I mean, Snow had a few choices as Mary Margaret. She had like great moments with her, but this is like the first person I ever seen that really read Emma as Emma. You know, it was pretty perfect. So Tallahassee, and then that tweet she did. So basically that.
I guess like the first season and the very first part of season 2, I was more of a casual viewer. So it wasn't until I remember the exact moment because it was episode 12 of season 2. I can't remember the name of the episode, but
In the Name of the Brother.
there you go. And it was the line when Hook says "Hello, beautiful." And it was that moment when I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm in this now. I'm in for the long haul now. So that's it.
That's a good moment.
That is such a cute moment. It's really such a cute moment.
Okay, so I think we can start with the questions and then we can talk about the casting, which I know Mai is really excited about. Yeah, and you can tell us after the questions, which we have a few today. So I'm starting with the most random one I just got today from an anonymous on Tumblr. I don't know why they even asked us this, but here it is. Anonymous wants to know, is Josh Horowitz related to Adam because they both wear glasses and the last name? Yes, Josh
They're brothers.
Horowitz is related to Adam. They are brothers, Anonymous. Thank you for asking us. Google could have told you that.
What?
You heard it here first.
What? I'm so confused now.
Yeah, Josh Horowitz is a journalist, I think for MTV. And
Oh my god!
He did
He's
that
the
amazing.
comical one.
He did that amazing interview with Colin and Jennifer and Michael.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
Then flipped to Stora.
He's the one that always asks the fandom questions. Like, instead of asking the whole who is dating who, he's like, so, what Hogwarts house will you be in?
Do your best Chewbacca noise.
Has anyone ever watched that Nerdist podcast with Jennifer?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
they actually got her to do the Chewbacca noise. Actually, she did it herself. I was really surprised. But she's like, they gave me. Oh, I can't curse anything, right?
I always hear.
Okay. She's like, they gave me shit for it, and I was just dying.
I always hear.
Every year at Comic-Con on the MTV couch, she always does the geek quiz every year.
Yeah, they'll be prepared this year, I think, if they do it.
Oh,
They'll be
they've got
fighting over
Colin
who
now.
gets Colin on their team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
Okay.
Jen will probably get Colin on her team. She'll be like, no, he's mine. Back away.
I
Okay.
can't wait for the photo shoots.
Oh.
Okay, we have another anonymous question on Tumblr, and they ask, how is Cora an honorary Captain Swan shipper? Does anyone want to explain why Cora is an honorary Captain Swan
The
shipper?
first shipper. She's the when Hook comes down comes down off the beanstalk when he has that conversation with
You
Cora and she
chose
accuses
her.
him. Yeah, you chose her is what Cora says to Hook, and
And
that's
then-
why she's the.
And then the second part was that when she has Aurora's heart, she's like, I think he might care for you, and then she like smirks at Hook, and he's
Yes.
like, oh fuck.
His face was so perfect. He's like, just
Oh, fuck.
okay.
He's like, be cool, be cool.
Be cool, but
Conceal, don't feel. Conceal, don't feel.
I mean, come on. She would not have used that piece of info if she hadn't noticed with her own two eyes.
And
Honestly.
I always thought that it was kind of a threat to Hook as well. Like, hey, I've noticed this, you know? I'm seeing you seeing her. Like, if you betray me, I know your weakness.
Oh my god, perfect, yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so next question. This is still an anonymous on Tumblr, and they ask, I feel like an idiot for admitting this, but I'm bitter about season 2B, so I like to think for Pony 39 speak, I've got your number, where Hook has a phone and Miss Emma actually happened. What did you guys think of that? Could have been of Captain Swan scenes in 2B after the name of the brother? I think they mean if Colin had not broken his leg. But that was...
Would have been perfect.
What?
And Neil
Yeah.
would have, and I'm pretty sure Neil would have died in
Yeah.
the finale
Yeah, I think so too.
if they had managed to get Colin not to break his leg in 3 places.
Yeah, I think they intended on having more of the Hook versus Neil like comparison in the back half of season 2. Setting things up to kill Neil at the end, and then Colin broke his leg, so he wasn't there, so they had to save it for season 3.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why the finale is about Hook and Bay.
And do you think Ham and Hook would have had many scenes? They would have gotten closer?
I think
Well, they did say there was an interview with Michael and Colin where Michael actually said the day before Colin broke his leg that he was supposed to have a scene with him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was kind of bitter about it too. I remember that.
Yeah.
And in that same interview, they asked, Colin and Michael if they knew, if the writers told them what their characters were going to be up to, and Colin said, "Well, what was supposed to happen to me hasn't happened yet."
Yeah,
and then
I
Michael said, "Well, everything that was supposed to happen to me has already happened."
Mm.
Uh-oh.
And his story was, as originally pitched to him, was over.
But I'm curious. They made him main cast during that season. I'm just a little confused about that because everybody thinks he's supposed to die, but they made him main cast anyway.
They didn't make Michael main cast until after the season 2 finale. Colin was made main cast before Crocodile even aired.
I
it
think
was beautiful.
I just remember 2B, his name always being in the credits. I'm thinking, oh, where is he?
I remember the talk.
We're all pouting about that.
Who actually watched the show, and I'm talking mostly to our watching listeners who complained about the scenes in season 3. Dude, you know nothing, Jon Snow. You know nothing.
Yes, we do not speak of the dark times.
You know what the ironic thing is that everyone that is against Captain Swan is like, oh, it's too rushed, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look, if Homeboy hadn't broken his leg when he did, and they were able to address all of the Bay Hook issues in season 2 like they had originally wanted to, they would probably be halfway on the way to being married by now.
Yeah.
But also,
even faster.
I'm actually not a fan of the rushed thing, right? I liked it how it was, but I get where you guys are going with how they wanted to do Hook, but he broke his leg, so.
I definitely preferred it the way it ended up being.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm like right now.
Yeah, I'm okay with it now. It was just rough during those 5 episodes where we didn't have Colin.
Yeah,
but
I was.
don't
worry, I was pouty too.
For those who don't know, my parents have been watching Once Upon a Time, and they got through The Queen is Dead, and they were like, oh my god, this is so boring, because I had actually warned them beforehand that they were gonna be boring episodes, and I'm like, hey, do you want to skip to the fun part? And they were like, yes. So I didn't have to rewatch those episodes, which made me really happy because they are very boring. It's me. But yes. Wait.
It's funny how, like, everything that he's not in
Guys.
tends to be slow and mostly filler, and then when he comes back into it, everything goes fast, and there's action, and it craziness, and you're right there. But then when he's not there, it just goes down. And if it's not because, I can't say that it's because of Hook, but he's like, I don't care what anybody else
He's a really
says.
welcome addition to the cast.
He's like a major force in the show. He pulls people in. He really does.
Yeah, I was just a casual-ish viewer before Hook showed up, and he re-galvanized my interest in the show all by himself, so...
Same here.
Yeah.
I was a season 1 watcher just because of Jennifer, but yeah, I agree. He kind of made it more exciting.
Exactly.
Jennifer was the reason I started to watch the show, period.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, because you're House and Cameron fan like I was, and so is
Hey,
Everyone here.
Cameron.
Lauren.
I don't know about Izzy, but everyone else here is a House of Cameron.
Did you see that Jennifer posted with the Amaron Forever sign at the Australia Con? Someone brought her an Amaron Forever sign.
No,
And
link it to me later, because oh my god. I
they
missed
took a
that.
picture. I once made her sign a picture of the homepage of my House and Cameron website. That's my Jennifer encounter.
Nice.
Wow.
I have yet to meet her. I'm like the biggest fan. The only closest thing was Paley Fest, and there was a load of horde of fans that came to the front. I'm like, okay, forget it, leave. Poor Colin, his leg, you could tell he was just a little bit not happy about it, but he did it anyway.
Maybe they'll be back next year at Paley Fest and you can meet her.
I wish.
I'll admit, in season 1, I was just kind of casual, mostly because, I mean, it was like a fairy tale thing, and I thought that it was kind of cool. My roommate was more of a fan. Season 2 came around, and I heard that they were doing Captain Hook, and I've always been kind of into that, so I was like, okay. And when you saw the first scene with Colin at the pub, I was like, ooh, he's pretty.
That was the
I
exact
don't know, that was
reaction.
everyone's reaction.
He's
pretty. He's like, oh, he's pretty.
When Rumble came onto the ship, and you had that pan-up shot from
Oh,
Yeah.
best thing
that,
ever.
I was like,
Yes.
I'm in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
I want to thank
I like how
God
you
and also
quoting that scene.
for that shot.
Honestly, I think the only time he's ever looked better is when he stood in the doorway of the cabin in the Jolly Roger when he's got the red waistcoat and the ridiculous quiff.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The right best of sex.
Okay, favorite Hook looking moment. Go.
That one.
Everybody else.
Hook on the
dear.
horse and the right best of sex.
How about when he's wet under the rain?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Moment
I
had
would
to-
say anything that involves his eyebrows is good.
I'm pretty much Prince Charles. I love Prince Charles.
Yeah, I'm very fond of Prince Charles as well.
favorite Hook look has to be for me the black vest of sex. Absolutely.
The velvet one or the leather
Yes.
one?
The velvet one.
Yes.
When he was
Where did
in-
that go? I wanted
I
to.
know. In the Crocodile, when he was walking up the steps after he told Rumple to just tell his wife the truth, you had the perfect view of his ass.
Oh my god.
And then in episode 9, where he's on his knees for Cora, and you have another perfect view of his leather-clad ass. Yep.
Yes.
I love how you just know this so methodically.
We watched the show for the plot, I swear.
And
You girls have it.
went on my 20-minute tirade about the white pants.
What?
Ponytails.
If
You
you
girls
listen to
have a talent for
if you-
detail.
I know.
If
You
you,
do.
if you
Obviously.
listen to the Good Farm podcast, I literally went on for like 10 minutes about those white pants.
I just like seeing Hook in different clothing. I'm kind of just sick of the leather, but not too much sick. I want it on him, but don't. Yeah, I'm just sick of
In
it.
different forms.
Yeah,
I think
I just-
they need to find a happy medium between the pirate and like a more modern look for him.
Yeah.
I'm sure Emma will get him out of those clothes eventually.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh my God, Ro! I almost spit out my water.
Okay, we have another
How many
question.
times by episode do I sing that song? Like every episode.
We have
What's the question?
Okay, the question
Sorry.
is
Can't hear you.
it's an email question from Hobbies Girl, and also on Tumblr. Another. It's a question about
We have an
Mila.
email? Huh?
Sorry. Yeah, we
have
have
an
an email.
email?
Yeah, don't you read my posts? I always,
Yes, I
I
do.
always, I'm always like, you can send questions by using the email. Anyway, this is a question about Mila. Do you think we'll see Mila again next season, and in what flashback context? Do you think she'll matter to Captain Swan or Rambel?
Highly unlikely.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I'm not holding my breath.
Nah, I don't.
I think we'll just get more
I
Neil
heard it
flashbacks
before,
than
but I
Mila.
know. Yeah, honestly, I heard that we were gonna get a new flashback and to
Is that a
compare with
spoiler?
the relationship. I don't know. Like, it's speculation.
I know,
So-
because I'm a spoiler phobe, so.
I know.
Ah. Headphones
But
off.
maybe like in that vein of drop, maybe like a Mila. Like I don't think we'll get a lot of Mila, but I wouldn't like find it weird if we got like 1 or 2 scenes of Mila. Especially if we're
Honestly-
getting more Killian backstory.
Honestly, at this point, I would settle for Rumpel admitting out loud that he murdered her in cold blood.
Yes.
Ha! That would be
I
like
don't think it's
Regina
gonna
accepting her fault.
That'll be the day.
Yeah, I agree. That'll be the day.
I doubt it. I think they're already forgotten it.
That would
Yeah.
be
Yes.
Like
her having-
Regina and Graham. Sorry.
that would be
I
like
know.
Never be sorry.
that would be like
Who's
her
that?
having she had Snow's father killed, and she would probably never do that.
Okay, but that's complicated, don't you know it? Because Snow was a brat. That's
Oh
like
my
totally
God.
justified.
If everyone could just sit down and have a nice conversation about everyone that they've killed, everything would be great.
Oh my god.
Well, Hook only
I
killed
want to lock them
Claude,
all.
so that would be short.
Claude. No, he killed
Poor Claude.
Blackbeard. He killed Blackbeard.
We don't
We
know he
hope.
killed Blackbeard.
We hope.
We don't know.
We're assuming. Remember, Ariel jumped in after him. She might have saved him for some reason.
And the ship was docked.
With the
And
leftovers
the ship
in
was
there?
docked. We know.
The
The ship was docked. We never saw the body. And I'm sorry, I'm from the Joss Whedon school. No body, no dead.
I still think he's dead. Sorry.
I hope he's dead.
I hope he's dead.
Yeah.
We have another Mila question.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
goody.
Mila, wow.
This is Mila
Oh,
Week.
this is the crocodile.
Popular.
Yeah, from Kistonic
Alright.
7. She says, I was just wondering if any of you liked Mila. I understood where she was coming from, but I also think she could have handled things better. Also, I never thought she was good for Killian. Emma made him a way better person than Mila did. What did you guys think? I liked Mila.
I
did.
liked her too.
I liked her.
Honestly, I liked her. Like, I understand why, because Rumple put her in a really bad situation. And I know some Rumple apologists wanna make her as the villain. But think of the era. Like,
Mhm.
he
Yeah,
made her.
exactly.
You have to think of the era. You know, I mean, it's not modern day. Like, the fact that he was the coward. Just look at the clothes. I mean, in Manhattan, she's all pretty, and her clothes are good, and their house is bigger. And in the Crocodile, she's wearing shabby clothes, and their house is really small. Like, obviously, she couldn't have gotten a job. She would have been shunned by the population as well. And that grows a resentment towards Rumple. Maybe it's not right, but maybe it is.
Yeah.
Like,
But
HUV.
She also begged him to go somewhere else where no
Yes.
one knew them so they could start over. How hard would that have been? And Rumpel was stubborn and wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't get why he was like he just wanted to stay. I guess it was like his safe mechanism. Like I don't know. Maybe it was with
Because
his
he's a
dad.
coward.
Yeah. Literally, the only bone I have to pick about Mila is just the fact that she left Bay, and that's the only thing that I don't get.
Like,
Exactly.
I understand. I look at it like this. It's one thing to leave. I mean, a mother leaving her child, bad news. But she didn't leave him alone. She left him with a father who presumably loved him and would look after him. Leaving your kid, leaving your kid like on a doorstep or something and walking away. That's bad. That's really, really, really bad. That makes you a horrible person. But she left him in the custody of somebody who was going to look after him. She didn't know Rumpel was going to turn into a crazy person and abandon him down a portal.
yeah.
The thing is,
Exactly.
as a mom, okay, I do not care about the fact that she left Rumpel. I'm neutral in the way I feel about her. I don't think she was neither a good nor a bad person. I think that the situation that she was in just sucked, and if she wanted to leave him, that was her right. Fine, but as a mom, I cannot justify her walking away from her child because I could not do that to my own children.
No.
I think I like Michelle said, I understand why she felt that she could do it because she knew she was at least with one decent parent. But if she wanted to fix it, it would have been very simple before she left, without Rumpel even knowing about it, for her to just go to her son and say, "Look, this is not the best decision, but I have to do this. You're going to be with your father. Your father is going to take care of you. This doesn't mean I don't love you and I don't care. It's just I need to be somewhere else."
My problem with that is Balefire was like 7. Would he really understand that at 7?
Yes. Trust me, as a mom, I can tell you, kids, you've got to give them a lot more credit. They understand a lot more than people think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. You know what really infuriates me about the Milo situation is that Bay knew that that Bay knew that Rumpel murdered her and never once mentioned it ever.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That was my biggest problem. Like, I needed him to call him out. I needed Neil to call him out. Like, hey, you murdered my mom. Like, he might have been your wife, but he was my mom.
Well, one thing I'm curious about is how Killian actually felt about this, being abandoned by his own father, how he felt about Mila leaving her son.
Well, they did say that they did say that they were going to go back for him. Like he said that they had that conversation, and she never said to him, right, this is the day that we're going to go back for him. We're going to go and get my child. They never did that, and presumably that was on Mila's part and not Killian's part.
Right. It's always been our headcanon, and it's probably true, like 95% true, that the idea to go back and get him was not hers. It was probably his.
Yeah.
I can see it from Killian's point. Well, I mean, I would say that his lifestyle would just be one woman, like, every night, or is someone different. But with Mila, that was the only constant that he had. And he hadn't had that in a long time, probably since Liam, someone who loved him and who he loved. So, I mean, it makes sense why he felt so in love with her at the time.
His love was blind. His love was blind.
Not necessarily true, because I mean, she wasn't good for him.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I come down on it.
Love was blind, and he probably saw her as this person who could.
Okay, this is gonna sound bad, and I'm pretty probably off base, but I mean, we don't know anything about Killian's mother. And
that drives me bananas.
And
Maybe he
getting
didn't have
involved
one.
with older woman. I mean, the guy has mom issues probably.
Oh yeah, I was
I
thinking.
think-
I was gonna say that. Maybe
Yeah,
he
'cause-
looked at her like that. You know, look
Mila's,
at her.
because Mila's older than he is.
Yes,
Mila's
exactly.
older than him. And personally, my headcanon, until the show tells us differently, is that his mother died in childbirth.
Same.
Okay.
When did that happen? When did that happen? I'm sorry. Did that happen in the show? Did it mention?
No,
that?
it's just my headcanon. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
I think until the show gives us something to work with. I mean, all we know is that his dad left him on that ship. We don't know what happened to his mother. He's never mentioned her.
They better give us something.
Hey, maybe his mom is Elsa.
It's 3 seasons. They haven't even told us who Charming's dad is.
Well, I mean, Elsa's going to be related to someone. We can't have this show and have her not related to anyone.
Oh god.
Yeah, Anna.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
I don't want
Poor
them related
Henry.
to anyone.
I feel bad for Henry.
oh.
He's kind of
Henry, you're so
like prodigy.
It's that picture of him pulling the family tree paper out and going, I'm going to need more paper.
That kid.
Okay.
He's so fucked up.
I know it is. Poor Henry. I always say poor Henry. He gets the brink of it.
Okay, we have a frozen casting question. Hooked Heart asks, what do you think about the casting of Hannah? I think it's awesome that they picked a newly graduated college unknown. What do you think of her casting and everything? Christoph too. I know Maya has something to say about Christoph, so just to let it out.
Okay, can I let it out?
Let it
Go ahead.
Okay. Cover your ears because there's gonna be screaming.
Oh, God.
That's screaming? That's
Okay,
No,
seriously.
no,
For those who don't know,
That's-
the role of Kristoff is going to be played by Scott M. Foster. Who those of you don't know, you infidels. He's in Greek.
Yeah, he was really, really great in Greek. I loved him in Greek.
He's like he's Captain Jan Paul Jones from Greek. And if you haven't watched Greek, it's on Netflix. Do me a favor
that's
and
the
go watch
captain
it.
and captain thing. That's the captain and captain thing. I was like getting confused. I haven't seen Greek, obviously.
So
You should.
I'm just
It's
in
so
the-
awesome. And you guys have to
Wait, I haven't seen it. You've seen it.
you know, you've got the whole site that you can watch it like in one turn. I had everything like it was in danger of being cancelled. It was horrifying and excruciating. Like yeah. And he's gonna be a perfect Kristoff, seriously.
He looks weirdly like movie Kristoff.
I noticed that. They all look alike, like the movie.
They really
Yay!
do.
That's one thing that you have to give one's props for. Whenever
Yeah.
they cast, they always find people that look like really like the people they're supposed to be.
Okay, so can Serena and I talk about Georgina?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Georgina was Hetta Bishop on Fringe, and she was perfect.
She really was.
And I'm
She
really
really was.
it'll never ever happen in a bazillion years, but if they got Josh and Anna to play their parents, that would be hilarious.
Anna being Hannah Tarp for people who didn't watch Fringe.
Didn't they have the twins, like the first season? Or twins, not twins. Yeah, the twins in the first season, they were in Fringe, weren't they?
Yeah, Ansel and Gretel. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were little Peter and little Olivia.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah, it's hard because they were like little love interests in Fringe and then brother and sister in. But Fringe was filmed in Vancouver too. in Canada. So yeah, the actors that they get for guest star roles are Canadian mostly, and yeah, that's the connection.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or Aussies.
But
Because
Georgina is going to be a great Elsa.
Yeah,
she's
she
wonderful.
will be amazing. She's wonderful. If someone wants to see how her acting and how good she is, you should check out the season 4 episode. She's in one season 4 episode of Fringe, and it's what episode is that? Like 17, 19? I don't remember, but you
I think so. That sounds right.
just check and see which one she's in, and it's like a self-contained episode, so you don't really need to know all the backstory to see it. And she has a wonderful scene with Joshua Jackson towards the end, and it's really great. And she had a kind of an Emma kind of storyline because she met her parents. They were the same age, and she didn't have her parents for her whole childhood. And then they meet again, and yeah, they're all the same age, more or less.
Yeah, Edda was literally the first thing I thought of when we realized that Snow and Charming were the same age as Emma.
I know. But if you want to see something good, do not watch Roadkill. Don't do it. It's a horror movie she stars in. Don't do it. Trust me. Although there's a
I
lot
had
of
that on
shirtless
DVD for years and I've never watched it.
Although there's a lot of shirtless Bob Marley, so if you
I
want
was
to
gonna
watch for the
say that.
shirtless Bob Marley, you should watch for the shirtless Bob Marley. I know that's the reason I watched it.
It's an Australian
Basically
film, right?
shirtless. Yes, he's basically shirtless for like 90% of the movie.
I haven't seen the 100, but I've seen people
Yes.
gaga over it, and I'm like, okay,
Yes, we are. You should.
one day,
It's
but
perfect.
I'm like on my studies right now, so I can't really marathon.
But it's perfect, really.
Is there any more questions?
I think there's one last question. Anonymous on Tumblr asks, what are your biggest hopes for the Frozen characters? For them not to be related to Henry.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
I think my biggest thing is that I really hope that they have Elsa as like they do in Frozen, like they have her as a struggling someone struggling with the magic rather than a genuine villain, because I think we've done the whole villain being convinced to be good.
They will. You cover your ears. Ears. Because this is a spoiler.
Oh, no.
And also, I don't want to see any of these characters. I mean, I'm not worried about Anna and Kristoff, because I genuinely believe that Anna and Kristoff probably will only be there in flashbacks. But as for Elsa, I don't know who the hell came up with this. I don't know if it was Captain Swan.
Elsa and Emma friendship.
But that
Elsa
I don't care about that. What kind of irks me is like, well, maybe she'll be in there and shake things up between Captain Swan. I'm like, what the what?
No.
Are you serious?
That is the worst thing that could happen.
Can I punch my screen for that?
Are we talking about that stupid BuzzFeed article? They never know what they're talking about. Just ignore them.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually got caught by that with BuzzFeed, and I'm like, no, I don't agree.
They don't know what they're talking about. They're just pulling stuff out of their ass.
But I mean, this is common sense. Elsa is so self-conscious about her own issues and her own powers. She spent all of her life isolated from people because she was frightened of what she would do. You honestly think that she's going to try and the first thing she's going to do when she gets to Storybrooke is try to get a boyfriend?
Yeah, that's all women want.
They should be best friends because they actually freed her.
Yeah, maybe.
Honestly, I want an Elsa Emma friendship because, number one, she's not, as far as we know, she's not related to anyone. Number two,
Hopefully.
he's not her boyfriend. Because Hook's her friend, but he's her boyfriend. He doesn't count. And he's not
Sort of
a friend
boyfriend.
who was. Yes, he's not. He's not a friend who was a friend of her parents first, like Ruby. So it'd be a friend that Emma would be making on her own, who has gone through a lot of the same shit as Emma. Like they're both struggling with powers and all that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it would be an awesome friendship.
Yeah,
Like,
the
seriously.
struggling with their powers, I think, is the thing that they're going to focus on.
Yeah.
Maybe I was thinking maybe Emma and Elsa would not team up against Regina, but try to tell her something. 'Cause I'm still a little bit miffed the way Regina kind of
Oh,
judgment, like well,
We're
a lot.
still-
Okay, the way she was. I mean, I get Regina's thing, but she just overreacted to me. I think she really overacted.
Yeah, I think
please.
we'll know when
Regina lives overreacting.
Yeah, she usually has such normal and understated reactions to everything. I'm really surprised by this.
We'll know when Regina is quote unquote better when her first reaction to something bad happening isn't homicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying, like at least there was no fireballs involved in Karanis.
I'll say this. I'll say this. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean saying small steps. There was no fireballs, so
Yeah, that's true. I was just saying to a fellow Captain Swan fan, telling her she doesn't like Regina as much. Like I don't like Regina, but we were just saying that how Regina went and judged Emma instantly when she wants to leave in New York, but when she was coming back, with Roland and Robin, she looked so happy-go-lucky, and I just felt like, wait, she's not hanging out with Henry, and, there's several things going on. I know it was, like, kind of a date, but I kind of like, okay, all right, and everybody's just judging Emma for this and that and that and that, and it just kind of pisses me off.
yes, and the fact is that he was with Robin in the morning. Like seriously, so she spend all day with Robin. What about her kid?
Yeah. I mean, Henry remembers now. He does. He remembers. I know he was at the party, but yeah.
Well, my question with that is, I'm kind of under the impression that as soon as Emma and Hook fell into the portal, time in Storybrooke, like Storybrooke temporarily ceased to exist until they fixed everything. And then when they came back, everything started up again.
I don't know.
I mean, does that change Regina's perspective, though? I don't get it. Like,
well, no,
because...
I'm just saying you're talking about, why wasn't she with Henry all day when, when Henry's, other mom was supposedly off gallivanting in the past. Well, I don't think there was a place for them to go because Storybrooke temporarily didn't exist.
Oh.
It's weird.
No.
It's
I didn't mean it in that context.
It's space-time continuum is what I'm thinking.
I didn't mean it in the Doctor Who context. I just meant like during the party, she was just hanging out with Robin. You know what I mean? And then
Yes.
she went over after Hook said something and about Emma leaving, and all of a sudden she gets judgy. And I just like, okay. I mean, I get why she was kind of furious, but come on, don't put her out like that. And then all of a sudden, all that stuff happened. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is about that, you mentioned her coming over when Hook said something about Emma leaving, and just to play devil's advocate for a second, I'm adopted myself, like in real life, and so I've got like this weird view on adoption and stuff. And the only time I've ever felt like Regina is ahead of Emma in some respect is about that whole Emma wanting to take Henry back to New York thing. Because to me, as someone who is adopted, Regina is Henry's mother.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that's just the way I feel. People are allowed to disagree and stuff, but because I've been in the centre of that kind of situation, I genuinely believe that Regina is Henry's first mother, first and foremost. You know, Emma is a massive part of his life and deserves the title of mother and deserves to be a massive part of his life. But to me, first and foremost, Regina is Henry's mother.
I agree. I do agree. But the way she spends time, I don't blame her for spending time with Robin. I mean, he's her true love. But, like, the fact that
He's
she
sexy.
kind of, like, the fact that she's in the background and all of a sudden, yeah, I get her point. I get your viewpoint about that. But the fact that she comes around, like, she didn't spend time in the table with them, or because I guess they were in their own zone, but I just, the way she approached her kind of made me, like, a little miffed at her. And then all of a sudden she just hangs out with Robin, not the whole day, but I guess, you know.
Regina's been like that with Emma from the very beginning, though, because she has this idea in her head, like Lana said in France, that Emma's there to take Henry away from her, when that's not really what Emma's there for, and she can't like get that idea out of her brain. She has a very abstract mind, so she comes off as very standoffish with Emma, even though she shouldn't.
Yeah,
I'm just so over this Swan Queen friendship. Just give me Elsa and Emma.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree, because I don't think they make good friends at all.
Yeah, and they've never been friends. At the best point of their relationship that has ever happened, they have been civil acquaintances at most.
Civil frenemies.
Yep.
Frenemies.
Let's put it like this: they tolerate each other for Henry's sake and nothing more.
Yeah.
If Henry was not a figure there would be nothing at all.
Yeah, of course.
Except for the fact that Regina is her step-grandmother.
Oh my god, that's just cool.
Oh boy.
Long live Jennifer Morrison.
You can't really be surprised that she's spending so much time with Robin, though. People don't really see this because Regina's always come off as a very cold and aloof person, but honestly, in her deepest core, it's not unusual for her to get attached. She has found this person that she feels like is her end-all, and it doesn't shock me whatsoever that she became attached to him that quickly. Not at all.
Have you seen him? I'm sorry, have you seen him?
Oh my god. I'm not judging her for spending time with Robin. I just didn't like the way she approached things. That's all I'm just saying.
Yeah, she's got. Sorry.
Let's be real. I think we could all pretty much tell when you go back and look at it, and if all of you haven't watched those two episodes about a gazillion times, then you're lying. But the last couple scenes, you know, with the kissy with Hook and Emma and Regina and
Robin?
Robin.
Can I tell you?
The whole party. Let's be honestly real. Most of that was not filmed in order, I don't think, and a lot of it was when whoever edited it kind of didn't edit it right. But some of the stuff didn't make sense.
Don't get me started on the editing of the episodes, please.
Oh God, the thing that annoyed me the most about the editing, and it's I can forgive everything apart from this one thing, because this is coming from someone who wants to direct someday, and that's the point of view that I have. The scene in the Jolly Roger when Hook is talking to Snow, when he is supposed to be in the dark, what is that editing? What is that black stuff on his face? Because that is not a shadow.
No,
that's just
it's
black
not.
crap all over his face.
For somebody.
Oh my god.
I'm actually gonna rant about the Neverland kiss. The angles. No.
Oh god, they broke the angle so much. Like, you know how many times I know a lot about this because it took me a long time to get it right in my film classes. So my teachers kind of hated me for it because I could not get it. I don't know why. But once you get it, you see it, and it's like, oh shit, no, you can't break
It's not only about the editing, it's about placement, it's about the directing, it's a whole 9 yards there. That's what's wrong with that kiss. But it was a hot kiss. It was a hot kiss. Yeah, it's a hot kiss, but everything, and I just quit film school. So, and I'm a history major now, but I still can see it, and I'm still like wanting to touch my screen.
I love how when we started with this fandom, we were both really into film, and now we both kind of out of it.
Oh yeah. Well,
But I mean, it's obvious in the last kiss at the end of season 3 between Emma and Hook. It's obvious that whoever edited it either pieced it together backwards, or like put one scene in one spot and then or one other scene in the middle and then one at the end that didn't quite make sense together.
Yeah, because of his legs crossed, right?
Because
I really like
continuity
part of the kiss.
Yeah, it doesn't flow very well.
It doesn't flow.
Yeah, I like the editing Tallahassee. Very good.
Yeah.
Especially when you think time frame wise, because you got them making out, and then a couple seconds later you got Regina and Robin walking by, and they're already gone. But
well, no, not only that, but Belle and Rumple are still inside Granny's when they start making out. But then it cuts to Belle and Rumple out by the well getting married. Still making out.
He poofed him out. He poofed him out and put the wedding dress on her. That's what I thought. In continuation.
I just want to believe that they stayed there making out like for like 20 minutes. I mean, that's what I like to go to sleep like. And Belle walked by them and was like, seriously, you're still making out? Let me go get married.
No offense, I would.
Because then
when all of us would.
When the scene cuts to Regina and Robin coming into the diner, you see Hook and Emma in the back, and their plates of food that they have are already done being eaten. Like they've already eaten the food.
Maybe it's more of a time thing, or I guess just like time goes by slowly and goes by fast and just time skips. Maybe that's what I thought, or just bad editing. I don't know.
So I'm like in time to
they're out there macking for like a half an hour while Rumble's married or something. Because I swear to God, I mean, none of the rest of that
really, I think they were just so hell bent on having the vows cut to all these other couples that they didn't really pay attention to timelines. That's the simplest explanation.
Maybe it was just like they thought it was creative for the time skip. Oh, this and this and that, and during all the couples. And I love the vows. The vows are pretty great.
And I kind of feel bad for the Rumbles that their vows, the wedding vows, were more about Captain Swan, snowing, and Queen and about Pam.
They always get the short end of the stick. It's weird, but I went into the Crocodile as a Rumble shipper. I had the Rumble goggles on for most of it, and I was thinking, oh, is this guy gonna like go after Rumble or something? Because at that time I had no expectations for Captain Swan or anything, but I was thinking, okay, well, so what? He's in the same place that Emma and everyone else is. Okay, this could be interesting. It got interesting.
Damn right, it did.
I feel more upset at the fact that he married her on a lie. And I swear to Jesus, if season 4 comes around and she finds out the truth and there's more shoving under rugs, I'm going to slap her in the face.
I'm not blaming Belle. I'm not blaming Belle. I'm blaming Rumple. I'm blaming Rumple.
Oh yeah, this is totally Rumple's fault. But my point is, if Belle doesn't rip him several new ones and at least move out of their house for like a week or something, I'm calling shenanigans because that's on Belle.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't go like in the Crocodile. Was it in the Crocodile? Well, he's like, you know what? No, I'm the one that makes choices. And then 5 minutes later, she's back. We're like, no.
Well, okay, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Crocodile. She tells her dad and Rumple, she's like, I never want to see either of you again. She caves to Rumple the next day.
On the offer of a cheeseburger.
Exactly.
When he cried.
And I'm like, really, Belle? Really?
Crocodile tears.
Oh!
You couldn't let him. Oh, you couldn't let him stew for like a week and then offer a cheeseburger.
I
And
guess
every
that's
time
her weak point. Weak point is forgiveness, which kind of annoys me. But yeah,
Well, he
Because
was semi-honest with her.
with that for him.
not even. No, he's
And-
not even honest. No, to be honest, he's not honest to me.
He's
No,
not.
he's not.
He just keeps lying to her
And can we talk about how this isn't the Rumbell show, but can we talk about how for a second that Rumple in season 1 nearly beat her dad to death with his cane, and Belle doesn't know?
Exactly.
And in the wedding, he walked her down the aisle. And
I know. I was like,
just-
what? Did we forget about this?
it's just.
That's
Yeah,
not, that's
your
not
husband
even
beat me to death. I'll just walk you down the aisle for it.
That's not even the worst
That's
thing,
one of the
okay?
reasons why the whole Rumbell thing just, I can't, like, I don't ship it or not ship it, it's just there.
Well,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can know my reasons, like that I'm seriously I think if they were any other couple except Beauty and the Beast, I could probably like it. But since they didn't put in my beautiful Adam, Prince Adam, flawed as he is, and they instead interchanged him with Rumple. That's what I'm pissed about. And
My
I'll
best
always be pissed
friend-
about.
That's not even the worst thing though, because in episode 11, in her confrontation with Hook, she says he tells her the whole story about what Rumple did to Mila, and she's just like, yeah, and then she
Yeah.
goes,
Yep.
Oh yes.
But his heart is good.
And then,
No,
and then
he's
she
not.
sits there,
Hook
and
has a
then
rotten
she
heart.
stands there,
rotten.
and then she stands there and watches Rumple nearly beat Hook to death with his cane.
Yeah.
and almost pull his heart out, and you're gonna tell me that Hook has a rotten heart? What is wrong with you?
What?
I gotta be honest. When I saw that Hook would be causing trouble in Storybrooke, oh great, that means Emma gets to arrest him. That's
Come on.
All thought that at one point.
You know
That
how we
was a missed opportunity.
Oh yeah.
You know how
Maybe
you
she'll
were-
arrest him in the future. I don't know.
You know how you were
Thank you.
talking about Tallahassee a minute ago? I've had this in my head all day, and I don't know why. But people have there's been lots of people, mostly people that ship Swanfire, that have said that Tallahassee's it's got the whole Emma and Hook thing, but it's also about Emma and Neil, and that's always
No, it's
really
not.
annoyed me. That's always really annoyed me because the only reason that they show the relationship between Emma and Neil is so that they can explain why Emma leaves Hook at the top of the beanstalk.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Bing,
he
bing,
was
Yep,
a
pretty
romantic prospect right then.
Yeah.
Like it shows
Yeah.
that Tallahassee was basically about Emma's romances. That's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
It
makes
was
sense.
it was contrasting the past versus the future.
Yeah.
Which explains, the whole thing about, can I not say because you didn't want to be spoiled or anything?
I'll cover my ears.
The whole thing about Jen saying that we would see Neil in flashback.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure the only reason he'd even be there is to contrast her relationship with Hook.
Yeah.
Or as Michelle's theory, beautiful theory. Can you explain your beautiful theory that you made today?
So, what do you
Yeah.
all take from
Beautiful. Okay. It's
Yes,
beautiful.
I love my theory.
And yes, I'm sorry, but I am going to marry your brain one of these days.
Anyway, I've had this theory for a while that Emma is the only person from the Enchanted Forest who can do magic outside of Storybrooke, and that part of the Emma flashbacks in season 4 will be us seeing her accidentally doing magic before she got to Storybrooke, either in the foster system as a kid or with Neil or in her post Neil phase or something, and that
If
would
Neil
be
saw her with magic, he would have been long gone though.
well. I'm not saying he saw it. I'm saying that if Emma did something that that
Like
she
the
would
light bulb.
she would dismiss it as, just some weird, like, gust of wind or something.
Yeah, that's Emma right there.
And so would Neil. He wouldn't know what was going on. He'd just
Did you
assume it
ever
was
make
just a
anything
weird
happen?
thing. But we
Anything
would
you couldn't
know.
explain when you were angry?
Exactly. Someone would give her Hagrid moment.
I'm so confused by that.
And in comparison to Elsa.
Yeah.
That would be great.
At the parallel with Elsa trying to figure out how to master her powers and Emma trying to master her powers, that we'd see that Emma was doing stuff all along and she just didn't know it. I mean, not a lot of stuff, just like here and there.
Well,
like,
actually, I'm more excited for an Emma plot line. That's the only thing. With Elsa, I read that. I don't think it's much of a spoiler. It's just a storyline. But I'm excited for that, in perspective. And maybe, I don't know. I love
honestly, we don't have spoilers right now. They haven't even started filming.
Yeah, but I accidentally did see a spoiler when Jennifer said something, a line, and I'm like, what? No, hi.
Oh yeah, I love that line.
I was so mad. No one tagged it. I was so mad, but I didn't say anything. I don't.
You know how you were saying?
Tallahassee was just such a breath of fresh air because we finally got an Emma actual episode.
I know.
Oh yes. I was so happy.
We were talking about earlier that this is our 28th episode, and Tallahassee is the 28th episode of the series. Emma is 28 in Tallahassee. Yes. And random facts of mine.
Okay.
You know what's a real breath of fresh air, and it really became apparent in the transcript for OzCon and in all the pictures, is that now that Captain Swan is out there and there's nothing for her to hide, she seems so free, like so happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. It's so beautiful.
I wonder how, I remember back in House and Cameron days, she was so open, but ever since she joined Twitter, she was more and less closed off and scared. And in the Nerdist podcast, she's always saying that she's getting a lot of negative points of views of her and the show. So basically, I love that she's more open now. I was really excited to see that in OzCon.
Yeah, me
and
too.
Honestly, it's like, okay, I don't care about the haters anymore. I want to talk about Captain Swan. I'm going to talk about Captain Swan. And even a question about the Charmings. Oh, I'm going to turn it back to Captain Swan.
She's a fangirl. She's a fangirl.
Yeah, her favorite episode is where she gets to kiss somebody. Come on. Totally
and then somebody is normally a guy with a hook.
And it's like
There's
she was
something
saying,
sexy about that.
the reason her superpower doesn't always work with Hook is she's vulnerable around him. But what I like is the fact that he asked her point blank, "Have I told you a lie?" Because he believed, when
he
she
believes
says
in
it.
her superpower, yeah.
Yeah, unlike Neil.
Oh.
And he'd only known her for a few hours.
Jeez, don't even get me started on that whole Neil thing, because this could turn into a very negative place.
Okay. I try not to be a hateful person when it comes to Neil. I try to keep my blog friendly, but I still have qualms I still have a lot of qualms against him.
Yeah.
Because he abused Emma. He practically abused Emma, emotionally and mentally abused her. And a lot of people don't get it. And I'm like, he abused her. So did Regina. I don't get it. I don't get why everybody likes it. I mean, I respect your choices, but I still don't get it. It's not my choice to,
Hook
Yeah,
respects her.
Yes, he does. He really does. He's like.
That's why it's so great to see the way she is now. Now that Captain Swan is out there. Before this, when people would ask her like Swan Queen stuff, she's always really try hard not to get involved. But now that it's there. And Captain Swan is a thing, and there's nothing that you can say against it now. She's like, fuck it, I don't care.
She's like flipping everybody off. Hey, I ship it. so shut the fuck up. I am telling you,
wonderful
that
captain.
book is awesome, and she's seeing it in our perspective, which is awesome. I'm like,
That's because Jen loves Emma the way we love Emma.
yeah, exactly.
I love that the haters called us crazy for being for certain hand cannons, and
Oh my
now
God.
Jen is being like, yes,
I
that's
remember
true.
the
That's true.
beginning.
That's true. That's true.
Remember the beginning? Remember the
Of
beginning?
course.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
yeah.
They
We were
thought
delusional.
yeah.
We were delusional. and we were, let's see, we were delusional. We were the cancer of the fandom. They kicked us out of the general tags. Should I keep going?
And I think
Oh,
we're
and
more. I think
the
we're more
sleeping
respected
hookers,
now.
remember? Because sleeping hookers were convinced that
Oh.
Hook was our true
Oh
love.
my god!
Oh
I don't want to.
Yes, it's awful.
Such a stupid one.
I don't even want to talk about sleeping hookers. That just brings back bad flashbacks.
And dude,
Tiny Shack.
Dude,
They hacked
when
Tiny
they hacked
Shack.
when they hacked into the Tiny Shack. That's
Oh,
they're the
yeah,
reason we
that's right.
stopped doing the Tiny
They
Shacks.
did. I remember that. I'm like, are you serious? He was in one episode of The Tudors for like 10 minutes. Are you for real?
Yeah.
I mean, like
Different character, a totally different
I
show.
don't care if he looked like a good kisser with her, but who cares? I remember the fan videos, and I'm like, oh, they're pretty, you know. But when they started being assholes for us, they.
Oh, I remember how they went after Maggie, and like seriously bad for him, like, dude.
Yeah.
And then I remember laughing so much when he took her heart, and it's like, and they kept shipping it, and I was like, there's something wrong here.
Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I don't get the fact that they shipped him and her, and they're like, one of them was like giving us in her saying something about how Hook should be a villain, that he's not supposed to be soft, but he's made for Aurora, but and all that stuff with we are stealing the princess and the pirate thing they had, and
yeah, I remember that.
Remember how Emma couldn't be a princess? They didn't let Emma be a
I mean, like,
princess.
she's royal blood through her mom. She's a princess.
Yeah, they tried to say Emma wasn't a princess.
And I love the fact that freaking the two last episodes just shoved it in their faces. Like, basically, Emma's like, Your Highness, my princess.
Yeah, she's a princess who has a true love of her own. His name is Philip. Get over it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm kind of a
Is the
Sleeping
reason
Warrior
why
fan, but yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Sleeping Warrior is because, dude, she has a true love, a confirmed true love. Because hello, true love doesn't work.
I like Sleeping Warrior.
If something happened to Philip, I would be all for it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
as
I agree.
Philip's alive, then as long as Philip's alive, then it can't happen because Aurora already.
I mean, Aurora and Philip were my OTP when I was a kid, so
Exactly.
yeah. But I liked them, but like I was a little bit of emotional when it came to Sleeping Warrior, so.
Honestly, though, if anybody is still hung up on this Sleeping Hook bullshit, I mean, in season 3, episode 12, right after they came back to the forest and they were all standing there and talking.
That was the only time.
He was standing literally right next to her, and Hook couldn't have given any less of a fuck. Honestly.
I mean, she was pregnant then too.
The only
he kind of looks to make sure.
Yeah, the only look he
that
gives
was
her
funny.
is when he looks at the baby and he's just kind of like, oh, look, a pregnant woman, wonderful.
I love how your voice matched to that. I love how you just
Okay, this is ironic because earlier I was like, oh my god, I love your accent.
Are you? Okay, we have two Australians or.
No, I'm English.
Oh, English. I'm sorry. You sound Australian to me.
Okay,
I
you
don't.
need to check your accents.
Well, because like
like this. If Emma had been there in the gazebo in the Enchanted Forest, she would have been hard-pressed to pry him off of her. I guarantee.
Straight.
Damn right.
True.
And let's put it this way: the next time Hook is around a pregnant lady, it won't be looking indifferent because it's gonna be his person.
I'm still expecting when season 4 starts up to get some sort of scene where, like, he's got her up against a wall and they're doing the frickety frack, and like, and that's when she gets a phone call from her father, and then goes, "It's only been 10 hours since the last crisis. Are you serious?"
Wait. Oh yeah. I was like, okay.
Bang 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 bangity bang boom bang.
I remember. Do you guys know Anna, Captain Swan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that she was saying that there was since the 6th episode of every season was basically Captain Swan. Maybe this 6 episodes featuring banging, or is it 5 episodes? Every 5 episodes. Never mind. 5 episodes.
Prime.
Yeah, 5, you think it'll be them having the...
Oh, right.
That's pretty much what I was thinking, that they'd save the first sexy times for like halfway through the first half of the season, which would be episode 5 or 6, and then the finale will be like the first I love yous, and then
We still need the third
breaks
As You
loose
Wish.
in 4B.
We're still waiting on that third As You Wish.
Well,
I know we are waiting on that.
if they're going to do it, they might as well do it on episode 5, because episode 5 of season 2 was when they first met, and episode 5 of season 3 was when they first kissed, so they might as well do it on episode 5.
Ouch, go wow wow. That's her.
Bang 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 bangity bang 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 bangity bang.
I'm just glad that Hook is no longer being blamed for Neil's mistakes.
Wait, are you saying that Emma was thinking that way, or just in general?
Well, if she'd been burned in the past, she thought, oh, this guy might be the same as that other guy, so...
I think it's like Jen said when she found out he gave up his ship. I mean, the only home he's owned for 300 years. I think that kind of solidified that he is not Neil.
Yeah, well, actually, she knew he was not Neil for a while. Ever since...
Well, I think she knew. She just didn't want to admit it to herself.
Yeah.
Because then she'd have to admit she was falling for him, and she just wasn't ready.
Everybody knows that she was falling for him. Regina pointed out billions of times.
I've been saying that she's been in a relationship with Hook since she got back from New York. Emma just didn't notice.
Yeah.
Well, his wife had no qualms about saying that the Swan Queen argument that Emma is not interested in Hook and he's bullying her, invalid.
Oh, please.
Yes, he is interested. The reason why she kept him at arm's length is because he terrifies her.
Yeah.
For the feelings that she has for him scares her to death.
Wait, they used J-Mo's words against that?
I saw it. I saw that they were like, yeah, he terrifies her because he's a bully and he's physically stronger, so she's afraid he's gonna attack her.
Regina
like,
is Regina is the biggest bully on the show.
Ding ding ding.
Yep.
He terrifies her because she feels something for him that she has never felt in her life. It scares her to death that she could feel something so strong for one person, and that's why she kept him at arm's length, because she was afraid of what would happen if she gave in and it didn't work.
She did the exact same thing with Henry.
Yeah.
That's
why I was kind of miffed around the same time Emma was pushing away, and everybody was kind of getting up in arms about Emma's treating Hook like Henry did in season 1. I mean, like, it's Emma's character. She's always been like that, especially when she's so close with somebody. And everybody was just so mad at that. And I'm like, come on, guys.
And Emma.
Oh my! I was crying, personally. I was crying because I was getting so mad about that.
I completely understood why she was doing it. I will not deny that I got frustrated, but I completely understood why she was acting that way.
I get why people were frustrated, but seriously, they were like, no, there was people in, like, I had to unfollow people who were verbally abused, like, saying so much crap about Emma, how Emma didn't deserve Hook.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
Honestly, I remember your rants, they were epic.
Thank you.
They were great rants.
I wasn't really so much frustrated with her keeping him at arm's length because I understood why she did it. My frustration was more when things happened that he could not control, that wasn't entirely his fault, and yet she jumped down his throat, like with the whole lip curse thing. I was like, what the fuck, really?
So that was very brief.
In front of her father. I'm like, was it really necessary?
No, because Emma... I'm going to stand up to Emma no matter what, but, I mean, I get the fact that she did it because, I mean, like J-Mo said, she says that they're kids in the playground. She would just say shit no matter what because he's her weak point, and she's just going to just punch him in the face because she's so frustrated that she's going to use him.
And in that moment, she was going to latch on to the first bad thing he did to justify her reasoning behind pushing him away and going back to New York. My frustration with her wasn't necessarily the way she was treating Hook. It was her constant refrain of going back to New York. I'm like, Henry will never, ever, once Henry got his memories back, there was no way in hell he was going to let her take him away.
I actually agree with that. Really, I did. I agree with that because I was like, why New York? Why New York? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, she explained it in that the first episode of the season finale. She explained how it's a remnants of a home, you know, and she doesn't see it, and then all that epic story happened. Captain Swan movie.
I mean, the movie we got makes the earlier episodes easier to deal with, but if I never hear the words New York again, I will be happy.
New York when she gets stuff back, maybe, but that's it.
Yeah, that's the only time I want to hear it. Although,
no, it's okay, Michelle.
I was going to say, if the next crisis is 10 hours after the last one, I don't know if she's going to have a chance to go back to New York and get their stuff. Unless she teleports it with her magic.
That's a shame because she had really nice stuff in her apartment.
I know. I remember Colin saying that. He was like, that apartment was so nice. How did ever afford it?
She had a really nice alarm clock.
Well, she's going to have to do something because if she has any hope of the frickle frack with him at any point, it is not going to work if she's still living in the loft. Just going to say.
She's not living in the loft. She's
She's going to be tacos.
She's in Granny.
2.0.
It would work. It would work even less there. Wolf hearing.
Okay.
Like Ruby hasn't done worse.
Can I say about the tacos?
And I love Ruby.
Shots fired.
Can I say about the tacos? Can I talk about the tacos? Okay, I never really get it because Emma said she's making tacos, but it's toward like her parents. I just never got that phrase. Everybody's like using tacos as sex. I never really got it. I'm like, why is it called tacos? You know, why is it called tacos? I make tacos all my life. Why is it called tacos? That's my confusion. I'm like, what? Tacos?
Probably just because she said it right after she popped them in.
And they were having sex and she's like taco and she was carrying tacos, so it was like
I know that scene. I've seen that scene, but her parents making tacos or she making tacos? You know what I mean? That's why I never got. Like her parents were just doing the diddly-do.
Parents making tacos.
Okay, all right. I'm still confused. Don't mind me.
Like I was saying, it's good that he encourages her, but at the same time, he's not going to sugarcoat stuff. Like, he's going to call her out on her shit. And I think that's what she needs, not just a positive influence, but also an honest one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he started doing that. And he started doing that from the very beginning. These episodes that we're supposed to be talking about.
I know.
And,
off
on tangent.
with Emma saying all those cruel stuff everybody didn't like, when he totally said, like, I love that he just basically told her off. And, like, I love that he tells her things. That's why I didn't really mind it, in a sense, because he basically is like, he's frustrated and he just gets so annoyed and he's like, you know what? I'm standing up for myself. That's what I loved about it. I mean, because that's why I was so...
He didn't just let her walk all over him.
That's what I loved it. That's why I loved it.
I want to be a really, really cheesy person right now, but haven't you guys all watched The Notebook, right?
No.
No.
Yeah, I've seen it.
This quote, I'm gonna read it. Well, and he's fighting. It's him telling this to Rachel McAdams. Well, that's what we do. We fight. You told me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bitch, and I tell you you're being a pain in the, when you're being a pain in the ass, which you are 99% of the time. I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings. You have you have like a 2-second rebound rate, and then you're back to doing the same next pain in the ass thing. So it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. We're gonna have to work at this every day. But I want to do this because I want you. I want all of you forever. And I can basically picture their relationship like that. Like, you know what? You tell me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bitch, and I tell you when you're being when you're wrong. Like, think not only he calls her out, and she calls him out as well. Like,
and Hook calls her out in a way her parents can't because they're afraid of pushing her away because their relationship is so fraught. That, I mean, she mentioned to Charming first that she was thinking about going to New York, and he didn't really, like, say anything. And I was like, really?
And Hook was the only one that said something.
Yeah, he's like...
Parents, like, walk on eggshells when they're with her, but Hook is not afraid to get in her face. Not at all. He has no compunction about getting in her face when he knows she needs to hear whatever she needs to hear, and that's what makes their relationship so special because they're like equals, you know?
Yes.
They're equals in a way Emma and Neil never ever were, all the way up until the end.
He gets her after his cover was blown.
Same coin.
In the Doctor, it was like, okay, this is who we are, and I know you. I understand. Like, just bringing up the Lost Boys and the look in their eyes. And
my favorite part.
Yeah, and before, in the show's history, when have we ever had someone talk with Emma like that, so in-depth about her? You know,
that's what I referenced earlier. I love that scene because I was a huge Emma fan in the beginning. I mean, Christ still over Graham. But I just knew that there was going to be someone else, and Graham really didn't know her or read her as Hook did, you know? I was like, finally, when Hook said something, and it was the ship that I kind of wanted to happen, and it happened, and I'm just still crying over it. Okay.
It's a beautiful ship that could.
The thing is, not even her parents have spoke to her that in-depth about her past.
Nope. I think it's because they feel guilty still.
Yeah, but at the same time, they like, I feel terrible for what they went through. They had to give up a child. It's one of the worst things in the world. But they've never got to that point where they've gone, right, well, we've gone through this awful thing, but we've also got a child who went through this awful thing. We should suspend our own pain to let hers out. They've never done that.
Yeah.
You know where the difference truly lies, and what makes Captain Swan so easy is the fact that everyone, when they look at her, they see princess, savior, daughter,
mother,
all of these things, and they know who she is, they know who she was meant to be, they know that she has royal blood, and all these things. They treat her in a certain way. Killian did not have that background. The first time that he met her, he didn't know her from a stranger. So when he looks at her, he sees her.
Yeah.
Just Emma. Just Emma.
I'm a big fan of the headcanon that the reason he looked so fuck-struck is because her image went back into his brain. Like, wait, what? Like, that he did kind of subconsciously remember her. Makes
Oh,
sense.
and can we talk about how the term "fuckstruck" was pretty much created in the Tallahassee episode? That's supposed to be the look on Emma's face when he's bandaging her hand, which is like
my favorite is when he smiled at her and she was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Why is he smiling at me? Why are you smiling at me, parents?
You're so pretty with your smile.
And then
It's a pretty smile.
And her fluttering eyes.
Oh yeah, Jennifer. I'm gonna mention this as a reference. Jennifer Morrison said during, I think it was Once Upon a Time Fan Magazine. She said the only time she ever acted romantically was towards Graham and Hook in recent time. Like the eye fluttering was for Graham and Hook, and I put my fist in the air because that was so cool. She never did it with Neil.
Nope. Not even when she was with him. In the flashback, I don't think. I tend to fast forward through those bits, so I might be misremembering.
You have to really think, though, that the dichotomy stems from the fact that Emma herself does not see herself as any of those things. Princess, mother, savior, daughter, all of it. She doesn't see that. She sees herself as just Emma. She's just Emma. And
it was sad when she revealed herself as an orphan.
Yeah.
But Hook is the only one that truly sees her for what she believes she is.
Emma doesn't know Hook's an orphan, does she?
No.
I didn't
Nobody
think so.
does.
They gotta have that talk.
Well, the Liam thing, remember?
Well, yeah,
she knows about Liam.
She doesn't know that his parents are, his parents left him.
She doesn't know that much about Liam. She knows he had a brother who died.
Yeah,
that's all she knows.
1 million backstories before. Prayer circle.
Yes. I love how every part of the fandom is like saying, "Oh, there's enough Hook. We don't need Hook anymore." And I'm like, "We do."
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
And I love how ABC's like, "Fuck that. Here's more promos of Hook. Here's Hook. Once upon a Hook. You know who's getting the biggest promo in our Man of ABC? Hook. Because, I mean, come on. He has an even bigger face than Patrick Dempsey.
I mean,
and Patrick Dempsey is the ABC guy.
Yeah, that was a promo that included Patrick Dempsey and Nathan Fillion. I mean, come on. And who was on screen longest? That would be Colin.
And Nathan
because he's pretty.
And honestly, I'm sorry, but Patrick Dempsey is the ABC guy. Like, he's the guy that put ABC back on the map with network map with Mac Dreamy. So the fact that they have Colin in a bigger league than Mac Dreamy, I mean,
my mother loves Patrick Dempsey. Once she put a Vanity Fair with him on the cover in front of my baby pictures.
Oh my god!
She just loves him a lot.
Maybe you're the love child of Patrick Dempsey.
Could be.
No one could possibly say that Hook gets too much screen time or too much this or too much that. Every other goddamn flashback is either Snow or Regina based. Are you
or Rumple?
Get me started on that, please.
Rumple gets a lot too.
It made me mean it might be vindictive or mean, but I kind of want somebody to ask them in Comic-Con if there's an end to the Regina flashbacks, because we know basically everything about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need more Regina flashbacks.
Yeah, I think that I agree with that.
I mean, Emma's the main character, and we know hardly anything about her other than what she's willing to divulge.
Emma's only ever had one episode. Like, there was the tiny bit in the finale, but that was like a 40-second scene. Like, other than that, there's nothing apart from the Tallahassee that was about Emma.
Yeah.
Lost Girl made me furious. I was so furious. I was looking forward to an Emma episode when I had to deal with Regina and Snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For which one?
Lost Girl.
Oh yes, it's like come on. The name's Lost Girl.
Not Regina and Snow episode. Lost Girl. Emma Swan. Get it together.
I mean, we still don't even know. Well, I think we don't. We still don't even know 100% where she got her last name from.
The Swan. Her first. We didn't know that. We know that it was her first family.
Yeah, but we don't know it from the show.
Yeah, that's something that Jen said in a tweet. We never actually heard it on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is so long. This podcast, so we are gonna have to stop here. We didn't really talk about the Doctor, Tallahassee, etc. So we can do it.
About Tallahassee.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried too.
I wanted
to talk about Tallahassee, but we got kind of...
Yeah, we got sidetracked. This is that time where we tried like 3 times to do an episode about Dark Hollow, and we kept...
It was the best part. Because it was the time that the big spoilers came out. So, it was like one spoiler episode, another spoiler episode, and every episode would be like, and we still didn't get to Dark Hollow.
Okay, so next week, hopefully we will get to Tallahassee, but next week there's also the beginning of filming, so maybe not. We'll see.
Well, probably will.
I'm gonna come back, so...
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, so thank you everyone for listening, and we will be back next week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye! Bye!